guys, welcome back to the channel. I wonder if you can guess where I am. Yep, I'm in Christopher's truck. I'm going out with him for the day today, just to see what it's all about being a trucker. As we're going on through the day, I will ask him some questions and get him to talk about his life as a trucker and things like that, and why he became a trucker and what he likes about trucking. So I'm just waiting for him to get back. He's just gone to the bin, and then we're going to set off very shortly off to the job. So I'm going to leave it here for now and see you later. So we've arrived at the first job, which was not too far away from where Chris parks his truck, and oh my word, Chris had to do a 3-point turn in the truck with the trailer on, with a full container on, and that just blew my mind. But anyway, we're on the parking bay, loading bay, whatever you call it, and he's just opened the doors, so the guys are going to empty it from the back. And then, do we have to take this container somewhere else then?
It's going back into the traffic park in Manchester.
So that's going back to somewhere. So we'll see where we go to next. It's Chris, there is Chris that is with me.
So, staff training today.
Yeah, so we've just had this container empty, it's on the back there. And I didn't show you beforehand, but to get the container emptied, he had to shorten his trailer. So now we're going to extend it again.
What? So what we do, make sure that the back doors are shut, which we've already pre-done. Pull the handbrake, stop the tail wheel from moving, and then we push in these release pins. The release pins are located here, which then slide in. That's what the pushes in, so we can then move the trailer forward. But also keeps the rear of the trailer locked.
So Chris has just gotten back into the truck, because to extend this out, what he has to do is drive it. So as you can see now, he's actually driving the truck forward, and the trailer itself is staying still, but it's just pulling the container over to the centre. And that's it.
See the pin there, just doing that before. And that shows it's fully extended. Release the handbrake into watch the.
Oh, my mum said it made a big bang, and to prepare for it.
There you go. And that's now ready to drive.
Yeah, let's go.
There you go.
So I said I would ask Chris some questions, so we are going to start with that. So he's over there driving, so I won't ask him anything too difficult because I don't want to distract him.
Well, your brain's not that bad.
So we'll start with, how long have you been trucking?
1993 I originally started, doing the smaller trucks of these, what they call the class 2. So I'd got me licensed through the army, came home after Bosnia for the first time, and had a month off, and I was bored. So I thought, what do I do? Joined in a driving agency, and then worked for a month being a commercial driver.
Oh, so what got you into trucking? Was there anything specific, or?
Well, my dad's a truck driver as well, so you can blame him for that really. We used to go out and drive him mad for the odd time. We'd go out for a week away. He used to do similar to me, be away all the time. We'd go up to Scotland or wherever, and me and my older brother Rick as kids were like, okay, we'd disappear off with him for a week or so.
Right. So I was talking to you before about other types of trucks, and tell me again about the difference in manual trucks.
Manual trucks used to be all the thing. Currently, the majority of ones are automatic. Again, it helps in wear and tear of the clutch, and it's more economical on fuel as well. The advances in technology have changed a lot. The gear shifts used to be lots of different variations, from what they call a range change gearbox, which is 4 gears like a normal car, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you press a button, 1, 2, 3, 4 again. But then the other ones which are called Eaton twin splitters, which have gears within gears, which are completely different to any others. But I think with technology moving on, everyone's gone to the automatics. It's more economic, saves driver wear and tear as well as vehicle wear and tear, so it's, and promotes healthier driving.
Would you say you're less tired driving an automatic?
Well, your left leg's not as big as it used to be anyway, so put it that way. Yeah, it can help with driving fatigue because you don't feel so tired completely changing, especially in traffic. Traffic is the big advantage of the automatics.
So we are just travelling on the roads, still very quiet roads, and we are going, was that under the Mersey Gateway? Over the Mersey Gateway.
The new link road between Runcorn and Widnes.
So that's the Runcorn Bridge, where if you're as old as me and you remember 2 pints of lager in a packet of crisps, that you will recognise that from the opening credits. Apparently this is a triple suspension bridge.
3 spikes.
Oh, it's got 3 spikes.
Suspended through the 3 piles.
And down there is sand and water,
There's the estuary.
also known as an estuary. So another question I've just thought about is I've noticed on the gearbox down there,
Yes.
the letters are different to an automatic car.
Right, yeah.
So what are the
You've
different
got
ones?
reverse, neutral, auto and manual. Because it'll
Okay.
come up onto here, onto the dash, which gear we're actually in.
Yeah.
And we can actually override we put it into manual, we can manually select which gear we want.
Oh, okay, so
So it's a manual override in a way.
right.
And then put it into auto, it goes straight to the lowest gear available. The E and P, E is for economy, P is for performance. If you need maximum power, then you click on the button down, it gives you maximum power, and then overriding the fuel economy of the base maps of the vehicle.
Right, because I was looking at it before, and obviously in my automatic car that I drive, I have park, drive, neutral and reverse.
Yeah.
So I was just wondering what the different letters meant. So obviously your auto is equivalent to my drive.
Yes. Yes.
So it basically just drives it forward.
Yes.
Awesome.
That's paperwork sorted for the next job.
Yep, so that's another big job that he has to do as a trucker, is make sure all the paperwork's in order.
Ready
Because-
to go to the office to make sure that's it can be filed and invoiced correctly.
Yeah, but also if he doesn't have the correct paperwork when he turns up to a job, they can turn him away. There's always signs, if you look down here where we are, it says he has to have the correct Freightliner booking reference and everything else that's required. We are currently just in a queue of other trucks trying to get through. I'm going to try and sneak some footage once we get onto the yard, but I might get shouted at, so we'll have to see. So the load that we currently have on the back of the truck is 20 tonnes of pet food that is starting its journey to Korea. So we're in the Freightliner yard, and we're going to pull alongside a train, a Freightliner train, and then the big cranes are going to set to work. So yeah, there's the Freightliner train just there.
There's a crane. So on the floor you can see 7, 9, 11.
Yeah.
So as we follow through we'll need numbers 59.
So we're going all the way to number 59.
But we have to wait for these to complete before we can move up to 59. So
And
we've got a bit of a wait.
I don't know if you can see just up there, where's my finger? That is part of the crane. that comes over and lifts all the containers off the trucks.
We give it a few minutes.
So just while we're waiting for them to start that, the other question I thought about was these mirrors.
Yes.
So there's one there.
Yes.
And there's one there.
Yes.
And just explain what they're before. I kind of know, but for other people.
Right. The reason we have larger mirrors, the larger vehicle, so we need to be able to see more. Trucks have quite a lot of blind spots. So we have a larger set. A wide angle, which is normally at the bottom or the top of the set, gives us more side view. And then the mirror to the front is to make sure that we can see to the front below us, because the trucks are quite high and we could have a person standing underneath us, we wouldn't even know they were there. Same with the curb mirror, that is used for cyclists from the traffic lights. As we know, cyclists like to come underneath the inside and then try and, when we set off, we can't see them. That's the aid of the mirror, it's to help us see them, so we don't run them over. Especially in London, where it becomes a particular problem.
So I don't know if you can quite tell from there, but if you look, that's the view through the mirror, and you can see the numbers on the floor that we were talking about a minute ago. So if there was a cyclist directly at the side of the truck, that would help Chris to be able to see them, so that he basically doesn't run them over and hurt them.
Which is bad.
Bad for them and bad for Chris.
Bad for us, yeah, it's bad for everybody, so we try not to do it.
Yeah. There are other trucks around that have the window in the bottom.
Yes.
That's something
it's a London specific thing. That there's a new scheme called the Direct Vision scheme. It's due to it starting October this year in London. For anything within the M25, you need the window in the side of the door, extra cameras and sensors to check if anyone is actually in the blind spots on the vehicle. They all need to be fitted, and then you can get the vehicle tested and get an approval rating for the vehicle.
So basically it's all, the whole point of it is to reduce statistics on accidents
with cyclists and vulnerable people.
Yeah, again, pedestrians and things.
In actual terms, a HGV or a truck is considered a vulnerable road vehicle because it's slow, has lots of blind spots, but people don't. Car drivers, cyclists, moped riders don't see that because they never enter the truck world, so they don't know what its good spots are and what its bad spots are.
So since we've had Chris in our family, as many of you guys have realised already, he's a big part of our family. But because of his trucking experience and his knowledge, and especially with starting his own truck up, his business up, and we've been able to be in the truck with him, we've seen so much more of stupid things that people do in the cars, like coming up the side of them and jumping in front of them without warning. If you can imagine, this truck has the capacity to hold 44 tonne.
Yeah.
And then when you add that onto the weight of the cabin as well.
That's not good. Right, that is not a good way to load a vehicle. Something definitely awry with that container. So the lifter's trying to lift it off. It looks like all the weight has shifted to the front. And it's very precarious at the moment. There we go, it's just unlocked the pins at the front. You can now level it out and actually be safe to move.
So just going back to what I was saying, you can imagine the weight of the truck, especially when it's fully loaded. If a car pulls up in front of a truck unexpectedly, it's not easy to stop a truck without notice, and this is why so many people get into accidents, especially when you're approaching static traffic, whether it be congestion or whatever. If you pull between two trucks, that truck then has to reevaluate, and it has to then brake really hard, and the chances of it actually stopping in time to not crush you are very slim. And yeah, the thought of being crushed between two trucks is not healthy. So I think I've altered my driving quite significantly, in a way that when I, if I'm out on the motorways or whatever and there's trucks around, if I have to pull in front of them, I indicate in plenty of time, pull well in front of them, and then just keep going. If you pull in front of a truck and slow down, that really annoys them. Usually, if they're doing a long journey, they might be using cruise control, so to alter their journey in that sort of way is really irresponsible of the car driver, but it's also really what would you call it? Yeah, the word I'm looking for is it's like mean. Like, I want to say it's mean on the truck driver, but there's a different word for it. But yeah, there's just no need for it. So always beware when you're out in your cars on the motorway. Just beware of truck drivers, and remember, they are just trying to do a job. They're not there to annoy you.
Try to give car drivers as much room as possible. Try and get car drivers as much room as possible, but also it works two ways. We try and give you room so you can get on with your day. Same with us. All we want to do is get on with their day and be as safe and as smooth as possible.
So there you go, straight from a trucker's mouth. So just there, somewhere, there, you can see a container sort of suspended in the sky, and there's a crane attachment just behind it, and he's operating that. So he's lifted that container up off of a truck or something. Oh, he's lifted it off the train, and he's moving it to another location. When I can get footage of one closer up, I will do. So this is a crane that's being driven, and that a Kalmar. Oh, and he picks them up from the side of the truck, and then this is the one that we're going on, and that comes down over the top of the truck. It up like that. Imagine being the person in that crane responsible for positioning that perfectly to land.
Again, it's nice today, it's nice and dry, bright weather. When it's raining, it's dark, poor visibility. Not everyone wants to do that job at that time of the day or year.
So Chris was just explaining, if you can see there's four of these sticking out, so there's one there, one at the back, and then two on this side, and the position of them tells them what size container is going to be loaded onto it. So the truck in front of us is set up for a 20-foot container, and these trucks can hold up to a 40-foot container. They can also put two 20-foot containers on, by positioning the trailer in a certain way and the pins in a certain way. So it's pretty amazing really how much you can do on one trailer. We've got a 20-foot container on at the minute that is fully loaded, and then we're going to go and pick up a 40-foot container that'll be empty, and then we're going to leave it in a yard where they will fill it, and then Chris will take it to its destination tomorrow. So you don't really get any notification when they're going to take it off, do you? Just a crane will just appear over the...
Yeah.
So that's us now finished at Freightliner. So we currently now have an empty truck. So we are at Freightliner Liverpool, and now we are heading over to Manchester. So we'll see if I catch anything interesting on the way down there, I will show it you, but if not, we will see you in Manchester. Just here in Manchester, picking up this empty container. As you can see, it is one of the bigger ones, and Chris has just gone in it to check the quality of it, because it is going to be holding food items, so it has to be inspected to check that it's clean and suitable for the particular food items that will be going in it, which I believe is going to be some sort of cereal. So we've just backed the trailer in, and Christopher is out there. He's releasing the trailer from the actual truck, the front part of the truck, which is called the tractor unit, and his trailer will be left here in this place overnight. They might move it off of the bay once they've finished filling it, or they might leave it there. But the good news is right over in that corner is where Christopher actually parks his truck. So when he comes in the morning, he hasn't got far to go to pick his trailer back up. So that's it, guys. That's the end of a working day with Christopher. So he's just finishing off his paperwork, doing all his last bits, and then we have to walk back across this yard to go and get the car. So I hope you enjoyed seeing what it's like to be in a truck and work in a truck. Don't forget, if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to see all our other videos, and please come back tomorrow, because there is a big event going on. And that's all from me for now. Bye bye.